that's real. Tell me how you really feel. Now that you hearing the thrill. I was all on my own. Now we're looking at it home. Wow, this is the thrill. Welcome to the thrill.
What a sweet day.
Hey, baby. What's
What
up?
up? What's going on, my
We
rated
a,
F people?
we a day and 5 hours late, but it's all right. You know, black
It's
people
okay.
time.
Who's counting? Who's counting? I ain't really counting that much. I barely can count right now.
It's, on- it's, it's only mom and the dogs watching at this point, so it's all right.
At
It's
this
all
point.
good. And you don't even watch. Grateful ass. What's up, man?
But none much, man. Welcome back. I know it's like you said, it's a day late. Sorry, guys, for everyone's gonna watch this. Whether you're watching it live, or you're watching it when we post it. We definitely love to see you guys here.
Hey, guys,
Guys, and
everyone.
for those who don't have never really watched it before, just giving a heads up. This show is about reviewing any of the latest movies, the latest video games, anything you talk about. We want to talk about it. Wrestling, you name it. So we're here today, and we definitely want to have a interesting conversation we brought up the other day. For those who have not seen it, I don't know where you have not been seeing this. You've been living under a rock. I'm positive you should know something about Nope.
Ooh, Jordan Peele's new masterpiece. Even the
It's
teaser trailer gives me tingles.
Oh God, that teaser trailer left me more than tingles, man. I think I actually tingled tonight. It was a. I'm gonna pretty much jump right into this, but the thought of this trailer was interesting because, I mean, we know Jordan Peele from Key and Peele, and if you watch some of his other movies, it was Get Out, Us,
Yeah, Get Out, Us,
and which are his two right now biggest films he's dropped, and I'm like, okay, I like this. Like, Get Out was obviously hands down one of his best movies. Us was good. Left me on some confused state. It was still like that twist at the end of it throws me off, but it was good. But then I saw this trailer and I went, huh.
Yeah, it seems like he gets deeper and deeper with his messages and his symbolism as he's directing further and further and further. He's getting better as the movies go. And what a way to break out of the gate with Get Out. And this video is not about Get Out, but let's give a few seconds of praise for that movie. That's a really, really good movie. And just the symbolic messages, the symbolism, just everything that he puts into his movies, you got to keep an eye out for. So that's like, there's not much information on this trailer. When there's no names of the characters, you don't know what's the relationship between some of these characters. You don't really know where they are. You could kind of say, like, yeah, they're in the desert, so it's like Area 51, maybe a Nevada kind of feel. But
yeah,
like, what's going on? What what does their business as pretty much the horse trainers and having such lineage in cinema, pretty much from the beginning, have to do with what's going on there? But it's with Jordan Peele, you got to watch out. It's more than just face value.
Yeah.
Always more than face value. So those horses have a symbolism. The aliens have a symbolism. The everything. It's a wonderful trailer.
Wonderful. Yeah, it was a beautiful trailer, man. And I was watching. I've been watching a lot of I've been pretty much breathing this trailer for the last maybe week or so. Just trying to really like pick up some pieces. And then while watching it, I bumped into a couple of different places. So I watched this one called Heavy Spoilers. They're a great YouTube channel. Guys, if you've never watched them, look them up. They're great. I've definitely enjoyed watching them. They do drop a lot of spoilers. So if you're not one of those spoilers, like, be careful. Yeah, but just in case you didn't know, right? Heavy spoilers. They're watching it and kind of breaking it down, and I was like, man, like, they picked up some spots that even I've watched it so many times. I was like, I had to watch it again and see it again. I was like, oh my God, now I see what they're talking about. Yeah. Jordan Peele is big with the symbolism, big with bringing up the symbolism towards Black rights, symbolisms toward how Black people were treated, or something like that. So the fact that you pick up and you have like someone like Keke Palmer, who's
Yeah.
shout out to Keke Palmer to come into this and seeing her, portray a different role, like
Hmm.
this, and
Using Daniel
watching her.
Kaluuya again. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he does great in every role that he's done. And I was watching Black Panther. I almost forgot he was in the Black Panther, and I was like, wait a second, like, he's a European English actor, and he
Mm.
can do so many different accents, and the way he's acting, the way he portrays it, the best shocked face you'll ever see and Get Out,
Oh yeah, the
the
wide-eyed
tear coming out. Oh my God, I loved it.
crying.
Oh
But yes,
man,
as you were saying about Kiki Palmer there, I mean, to no offense to her, the last time I saw her in a movie was way back. I think it was one of her first movies, Akilah and the Bee. I don't keep up with. I've never seen her in anything crazy mainstream. There was a movie that came out
yeah.
about a year ago or so called Hustlers. I didn't watch it, but it
I did
I
see that one.
yeah.
She was pretty good in that role, but like you said, it's like you never really seen her in like an outlandish kind of like just out of this world type of view. And
Yeah.
watching her here, I think she did a great job on it. Just kind of seeing so far what I've seen, obviously with the teaser. One thing I was hoping, they kind of give it to you, but they didn't hit it to you all the back. I thought it was gonna say nope somewhere. You're like, they kind of show little bits of what's going on. They go nope and walk away because that's the first thing. When you hear the name nope, you're like, what the heck? Like, heck no, nope, I'm out. Like, but her hitting that nah and just bouncing.
Yeah, no. She's pulling a real Bruce Willis, like, yeah, no. No, we ain't doing
Now about it,
that.
we ain't doing this one right now. I decline. And watching that, and then again watching everything I've been watching of the trailers and people breaking it down, and that the word nope has a lot more meaning. Apparently, they think a lot of
Apparently
people
it's
have
an
looked at
acronym.
Twitter. Yeah, so a lot of people
Yeah.
on Twitter are saying it. A lot of people on even other social media platforms have been putting it up there. They think that nope stands for not on planet Earth,
Yeah.
or not
I've
of
heard that
planet
one.
Earth.
Yeah, not of planet Earth. And I was like, oh, that's a really good end. And that obviously it ties into alien invasion as it seems like it is. If you
Yeah.
kind of, I watched this for the day. To be honest with you, for the last 20 minutes, I watched this trailer like since we clicked. Yeah, we going live. All right, cool. Pause. And we go.
It's playing still somewhere in the background on a loop.
And like there's little things that you say, okay, so there there's images of what the aliens could look like. You see, maybe what the spaceship looks like, and you don't have any clue what's going on.
Yeah.
um but as I said earlier with Jordan Peele, there's just so much symbolism with him. It could be anything. It could be, and I know it's going to tie into some type of black rights or black oppression or segregation or something. But what in
Yeah,
his
that's the
mind?
biggest thing is what?
Yeah, and I remember when Rob Zombie started doing directing, and I was like, yeah, Rob Zombie. He's just like he's outlandish, obviously, but
Oh,
I like
understatement.
when my mind is teased with a good movie, and now you have that horror movie. It's always been a genre, even with Shutter Island and things like that. But when you have a director that takes things in such a direction that there's a deeper meaning to the entire movie, that is something special. That
That
is
hits
something very
different.
special, and it's consistent. It's not just he may Get Out, and then Get Out was cool, but Us is different, and then maybe Nope will be in it. Is this like a M Night Shyamalan kind of thing? It's like he
Yeah.
failed off the rails, but now he's back. No, Jordan Peele, three hits, three
Yeah.
hits,
And
100.
and it's fun, and it's so weird that Nope is already looks like it's gonna be a hit before it even hits the before it even hits theaters. But Us, which is right now his like lesser of his hits, and it still did really good. It hits the mark. I think, in my opinion, it hits the mark. So that's why kind of watching that. And I'm like, man, like I watched the trailer and thought of Nope, and I was like, yep. And the cool thing about it too is that he gives you a lot of key factors on it. So I was watching the trailer again, and I don't know if you're familiar with it, but there's one of the scene where there's like they're looking out, I think, in the canyon, and there's a truck in the back that says fries.
Oh yeah,
So I don't know if
yeah.
you've
It has
seen
like
that.
a little snake on the
Yeah,
bottom.
but
Something
actually,
like
so
that.
actually, Fry's was is really big hardware store. It's very similar to
Like a
like
Lowe's or
Circuit
Home Depot.
City. No, like a Circuit City, really. Like it's an electronic
Oh, you mean
store.
electronics? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
then watching that and then kind of looking it up, the most popular Fry's was in California.
Mhm.
And that one was one of their biggest stores and had a key alien uh fixture in the wall.
Huh.
So it was kind of something we were looking it up and I was watching some of the videos about it and I was like, oh my God, like I didn't even know about that. Like obviously, like I'm not from California. So to
Yeah.
hear that, I was like, Peel gives you something all the time that it's going to
Yeah.
say, look, these are key elements in this that are going to show you where I'm at and kind of when I'm at without telling you
Mhm.
where it's at.
Exactly.
Because even if you look at one of the sweaters that he wears in the trailer, it's the Scorpion King, and on the back it says crew.
Huh.
Yeah, so it and
Kind
because
of
they're
gives
using
you like a
horses,
timeline, quite possibly.
yeah, and then because they use horses, they obviously are the biggest black owned horses
Horse
breeding,
stables. Yeah.
yeah, horse stables in California, and it's the only one that they really got going on in California. So
Wow.
it's key to say that maybe they're gonna say, oh well, this you worked with Scorpion King, which kind of gives you that like okay, they're around 2002,
Yeah.
maybe '07 range,
Around that
because
time.
he pulls out a flip phone, and I said, wow, I remember those.
Remember when we couldn't take pictures?
The grainiest pictures you could find. So I was like, okay, like you kind of get a timeline from where it's at. And then I know we've kind of already touched up on it, but I know obviously, who do you think or what do you think is the creatures in this? And it's kind of almost like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's like right in your face. Like, and the thing, and as I said earlier, I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's just like it's right in your face, but it ain't.
yeah,
With Jordan Peele, it ain't. He'll give you what you want to see, but when you watch the movie, you're gonna end up leaving your chair a few minutes later because you just have to process what you saw, and then you're just on the drive home. You need somebody in that car to be like, uh, no, 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 but this, yeah, 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 but that. It's the whole car ride home. You better drive far because it's gonna be a long conversation.
it
But
better you better doing loops,
yeah,
hoops, and everything.
let's drive around the neighborhood one more time. This is about this movie, man.
It's it's something about this movie
Definitely.
when watching it, it threw me off, and I was like, man, like
Mhm.
obviously it's saying aliens and aliens, but then I see a lot of horses in there,
Yeah,
and I'm like, is it maybe horses? Maybe it's horse monsters, or
yeah.
and they
Have
keep
anything to do with
showcasing the.
them?
And then you know what the biggest symbolism of them all is throwing it off is that they have those wacky inflatable.
I saw that.
There's tons of them. So a lot of people are thinking like, well, this is a symbolism for something, but I'm like, well, this is also showing a black-owned stable that has probably not had major business
Yeah,
after the Scorpion King movie.
right.
So they're trying to entice people to come see their horses, come to their stable, come check
That's
out the
it. Like they're
farmland.
doing marketing. Like you could see all the wacky inflatables. You could see all the like at the beginning of the trailer. They're doing like commercial or some type of documentary
Yeah,
about their business. They're in the middle of the desert, so it's kind of hard to know. It's kind of like a need to know basis when you're out there. When it comes to
yeah,
certain businesses, it's just like here in St. Cloud. Some of these businesses, you go down a dirt road and you're like, oh, well, okay.
yeah.
Here's this random business. It's neat. And it's like if you know it, you know it, but not. So now they're trying to bring more in, and I'm not. It wraps my head. It really does wrap my head in a bow right now because I don't know what to say. We just gotta wait until the 22nd of July, man.
Yeah, no, and I completely agree with that. But watching what I've seen, like I mentioned, the horses are really big on it. Like you going back to this scene that you see in the beginning with him holding the horse. You see Kiki Palmer talking about her family being the first black writer that they use in films. So
Mhm.
that was a big factor in it. And then you looking at something like this, and you're like, what in God's name is
What
that?
happened? What happened to her? Poor dear.
Hold on, Nessie. Like, what in
Hopefully.
God's name? So, one theory I actually have, and a lot of other people are kind of aligning with what I said, and when I was thinking about it, do I think it's aliens? I 100% think it's aliens, but I also think that they take the horses, all right, and
Mm.
either one of two things happens with them. Either A, they use the horse DNA and they fix people that need to be fixed. But I also think that and actually just thinking about it as I said it out loud, it kind of made me think about another scenario about it. They use their DNA and they fix people and they give them blessings because if you think about it, one part of the trailer they say, "Well, what do you call a bad blessing?" You talk
Mm.
about a definition of a good blessing. What do you call a bad blessing? So
Mm.
you're thinking, okay, so what is it? Maybe the aliens come in, they pick maybe 5 people, and maybe they bless them and fix them, which is that key phase there. But what if they take the horses and they make them humans?
Hmm.
Right? I started thinking about that. So because then this scene right
Yeah,
here,
that creeps me out.
it creeped me the heck out because this
Ah.
gave me signs, feels all over. Like M. Night Shyamalan just took a whole backflip on this one
It took me
because
back to Planet of the Apes, the remakes, and when Caesar first started like showing signs of like intellect, and he was moving things, he was showing like that cognitive thinking and stuff. That
yeah.
scene in a horror form, like, I was like, oh god, don't touch children, don't touch
Oh
the
God,
kids,
yeah.
leave
You
the
don't
kids
don't
out
bring
of
that.
this.
So what's funny is that when I was watching it, and one other person pointed this out, I didn't really point it out. If you look at the hand again, that he's trying to fist bump because of course
Yeah,
aliens fist bump in this world.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Uh,
they're cool, they're woke.
if you look at his hand though, it looks like hooves.
You think?
If you're right there at that front end of it. If you look at it, it kind of looks like a little bit of hooves, like a thumb being formed from the back end of it. So I started thinking, like, man, what
Yeah.
if they make them humanoid? Maybe a
They're trying.
humanoid,
It's like a splice. That was a good movie.
kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that
was
was
a
a
really
good.
good movie too.
That was a good.
But it kind of comes back to seeing this face because if you look at this, I guess girl, I don't know what they're calling
Yeah,
it,
it's a
but
woman. It's a woman.
uh,
It's a woman.
but the
Clearly, you don't work in healthcare.
well, it could be again. This could be something like a horse in an outfit though, because look at the teeth, look at the fixture. Like it kind of gives that feel of someone
Okay,
who
I see what you mean.
is in mid transformation and
Yeah,
they're seeing now their alien come back to maybe fix them up, maybe get them better, maybe complete the process.
yeah, a little upgrade.
Um, yeah, maybe yeah, just like an Autobot. You got to transform a little bit.
To
So
me,
I don't know.
yeah, the-
No, I was gonna say I don't know. I feel like it's a lot more to do with the horses and the aliens.
yeah. There's a connection there. Me
Huge
personally,
connection.
I'm going off of what you said with the fixing of like certain people who have ailments or deformities or so, because you go to the picture with the lady, that is signs of a severe burn victim. Working in the ER and seeing that's signs of a severe burn victim. So when they heal, and that process takes a very, very long time to heal, a lot of times like the hair doesn't grow back, so you can see how the hair looks kind of like a wig or like a
Yeah,
weave kind of thing. Um, you have the lips that are gone, the eyelids are just kind of like almost fused together, very small. The neck is very distended because of the pulling of the skin, probably even a skin graft there. And I'm like, okay, so that's why I saw it. I was like, this is good cinematography, but I want to know where they're going with it. Because working
yeah,
in
true.
healthcare, being around patients like that, you're like, okay, so this art is that part of what you're saying is like part of the fixing process, and they just trial and error kind of thing, or
Could
is she
be.
just part of the community and then that's just her? Because with that kind of injury, you would have psychologically you'd be a little depressed. So you have the veil over your head. The only time that you actually saw her face was when the wind blew it up. Yeah, like, oh, okay, that's what she's there for. Maybe a small town, in the middle of the desert, small town. Everybody knows about her, but still
True.
a little depressed. Then you see the hand when fist bumping the child. To me, that also looks like a burn, kind of like a third-degree burn kind of thing. Yeah. So
And
I'm.
it leaves you always wondering what, because like we said,
Mhm.
you don't know what Jordan Peele is going to be doing because a lot of the symbolism that you see, it
Yeah.
throws you off because you're kind of like, what is he? where's he coming with this? What's the next step with this? And
Right.
it does put you in a bit of a, okay, I see what you're doing,
Yeah.
maybe, kind of, huh?
Not until we see the DVD commentary.
No, you ain't lying on that one.
You need to
Um,
explain yourself, Mr. Pia.
remove yourself from this chair and come over here. Um, but leads me to the next question. The next question kind of goes pretty much and we've jumped on it early on him, but how do
Right.
you think and how do you feel of his style of directing? Like, so how he looks at the movies, how he directs it, how he adds stuff to it, that maybe you don't think about.
I think it's absolutely magnificent the way he directs. He takes a concept of a lot of social issues. I'm not big on the on I have my respect for the situations that are going what black community goes through. Unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, I cannot relate to it because my parents always sheltered us away from that, and they raised us a little in a better light. So we never had to be exposed to things like that. So all that I've ever seen was news. What's going on TV? What's going on in this? You have LA riots from before we were born, where we were really little. You have, the Baltimore a
Oh
few
yeah,
years back. I was like, what's 5, 6 years back, and
even
it's
more.
probably even more. Yeah, but yet I never been through that. And people say, "Oh, you got to act right around the cops." My brother-in-law's a detective. Like I don't know. I never had any run-ins with that, but it's always shun. It seems like it takes a community, in the sense of the black community, and shuns it. It's just like, don't do this, don't do this. This is like kind of like a reverse segregation. Like, keep them down, keep it down, keep it down. Act this way, act that way. No, no, no.
Yeah,
Like, so him bringing social issues to light in a form of cinematography, but like presenting it in a way that makes you think about the process, not just seeing the process,
true.
not just seeing the aftermath, or not just seeing a 5 minute video about somebody who got shot or killed, or who got broken into, or this, that, and the other, or hearing or reading an article or something. He puts you through the ringer of not just the fundamentals of what's going on in this horrible situation that the black community has to go to, but a deeper look that makes you think that you've already been through that. But he does it metaphorically, and he does it through cinematography, and he does it through horror, because it is a horrible situation. And I like the way he does that. And I'm not pushing, not pushing any agendas or anything, but that's just what I see from his movies. And now this is the trailer for the third movie he's coming out with, and it's the same thing. It's just another situation that the community has to go through. It's another situation that maybe the Hispanic community might not understand. How, even different areas of the black community and that might not understand, because I never went through it. The white community, the Asian community, every race has their problems, has their stigmas, their stereotypes, their issues. But he focuses on this specifically and brings it to life, especially what we're going through right now with a lot, last 4 years. Let's not talk about Donald Trump, but like even before that, it's just like things that come to light, but you really don't see it because you're still in the dark. He brings
True.
it. He makes you think. He forces you to think, because he's presenting a great movie that has that message and it forces you to think about it. I like it. I love 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 it.
Yeah, and
You know
I
me, I'm
agree
a
with
horror
it.
movie buff, so biased.
And I actually, what though, and me who's not a big horror movie guy, not that I don't like them or love them, I actually do like them, but I'm not. It's not my first go to.
Mhm.
It'd probably be in order superheroes, comedies, then horror movies will fall right after that.
I've been
And
watching horror
it's
movies all day.
sometimes I bet you watch it every day
I was
too.
off today. I watched like 5, 6 movies today, all horror.
But you know what though, like kind of watching what he does though, and like you said, like bringing up a lot of community issues that the black community deals with, and how he symbolizes what they go through in life and how they're shunned and a lot of stuff, and put to the back burner and kind of told to just kind of deal with it, get over it. It is what it is. Racism is dead, and racism technically has never really been dead. And I think Jordan Peele does a great job of bringing that to light and shows that, hey, we deal with a lot of stuff, and maybe you don't see it the way we see it. So his bringing it out, like Get Out, how he represents the white and black community in that movie. Us had another strong viewpoint on that. So you can see the how he pushes the black actor, the black actress, that role that they play, and how their life has changed and a lot of stuff, and how people's lives have changed in that community over the last 400 years. Some people still view them as beneath them. Some people view them as equal. Some people view them as they're better. But, at the end of the day, he shows that, maybe, two people may see him good, but you always got that one or two that don't. And him symbolizing that, I think it's a really big for the community. And then the way he directs, I've heard nothing but great things. The way he leads and how he showcases and how he brings it up, it almost gives that like very hands-on approach, and also is very open to giving that feedback. If they're going to change the scene, they're going to add a thing to the scene that he's okay with adding it, as long as it fits the role and the feel of the movie, then let's go ahead and keep doing it.
The narrative of what he's trying to accomplish. But I agree with you on that. I've also heard that he's very calculated in the way he directs. Like everything, obviously, when you're making a movie, every scene has a purpose, but there's also like microscopic details in those scenes that make the scene, that make his. But he's very calculated. Nothing goes to waste in his movies and his scenes.
No, never.
Every clip is something.
I think watching some of his stuff, you almost see that. I almost feel like he takes scenes, he deleted it, and goes, "No, I want it back," and like he puts it back on there because this adds to that. So I don't know. I definitely love the way he's doing it. The style of directing and how he pushes the actor to fit that role so well. Because, like I said, Keke Palmer, tell me a horror movie she's played in that was in mainstream media. I'll wait. You got a lot of these actors that you may have never really seen before. If you've seen them, you haven't even seen them in a minute coming back.
Great actors and actresses, and who knows what her personal life is. I'm not stalking the woman, and anything like that. Maybe she went off and did her own thing. Look at Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman went off and focused on a master's degree and charity work and things like that, and then she came back. So who knows what Keke Palmer has been doing? So I'm just glad to see her back, and glad to see her back in this environment. I think perfect comeback. I think
this is a perfect way to like go full force. Like I think after she did Hustlers, and then you see this, like this gives you that big and I think Jordan Peele pushes that actor and actress mindset to do so. And then symbolisms, man, I love it. I love the symbolisms through this movie. What do you think of some of the symbolism that you picked on? What is your maybe? I know we've kind of said a lot of stuff, pretty much. Word vomit on a lot of the things, because I think it's just so much you kind of get lost with it. But the symbolisms that I see there, the wacky inflatable men, I don't know, man. I'm drawn to that. I'm trying to figure out what exactly it is what it means with that. Like, is that something that represents the Black community? Does that represent the aliens? Does that represent some other factors of it? What are we looking at? And then I'm looking at some of the other like little key things that he's throwing around there, between like the timeline. Like, what does the timeline really got to do with it? Because he makes it a point to showcase what rough year you're in. So why is that a big factor in the matter? Why is that huge for this movie? Because the fact that he's mentioning Scorpion King sets, the fact that it's showing a lot of the California movies, and the fact that they're representing farms and all these like circuses, and there's something about it that's big on it.
I think a lot of symbolism. One of the greatest ones from the trailer, at least for me, my favorite, is the song in the background. That's Stevie Wonder's favorite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stevie Wonder made that song when he was a child. And it sets that tone because the name of the movie is Nope. But he's just like, yeah, I like that, and it gives a good tone to the entire trailer, but specifically to Kiki Palmer's character's her personality. She's
Yeah, she hitting
very
that
flowy.
little dance that she was
Yeah,
doing.
she has charisma. She is the salesperson. She's a talker. You're in the middle of a photo shoot or shooting a commercial, and Daniel's just there, kind of like, okay, he's not really
He
into
looks so depressed in that
it.
scene. Can we bring
Yeah.
that up really quick? That he's
Yeah.
like, I fucking hate this place. What are we doing? He's like, take me home so I can drink and go to sleep. That's what I want to do right now. That's what it looks like.
Here, let's find that picture. Where you got it? Is it the first one?
No, this one right here.
Yes, and like
Look at the
just
face.
the still of it. The horse looks happier than him. Like,
This is my face when I hear you bashing Justice League. Let's just throw that out there too.
We should 2 hour live stream. And I can see the little eye next to live. There's one person and he leaves, and then he goes and he leaves, and he goes and leaves. This is mom. Hey mom, pay attention. But yeah, like when it comes to that, it fits the narrative of her, and I want to see a lot more of that character and that charisma. How it fits into such a polar opposite, like a downtrodden kind of character that Daniel's playing. So I'm excited for this movie. I'm excited for this movie.
I am too. Like
There's
not for nothing.
throughout the trailer. Sorry, my wife is showing me something. But like throughout the trailer, if you go back and watch it, there's times where especially in the beginning, where all the lights and the power go out from the house.
Yes.
Everything clicks off. If you really, as I said, I watched this thing like 8-10 times before we got on the live stream. I picked up on it. The crickets in the background even stopped chirping.
Oh.
So there's music, the music goes out, the lights go out, you hear the crickets for a little bit, and it just goes away. I'm like, whoa, okay. Animal Kingdom wise, they don't stop making noise unless there's a predator around or something that's going to hurt them or potentially a threat.
That is a big idea I didn't even think about.
Yeah. So there's things like that. There's you see the dolls of the alien, and then in the scene later on in the trailer, you kind of see a bit of a little head and the two eyes are kind of like close together, but you don't quite see the body or like the full face of it, and it might seem like that's what the alien's going to be, more short in stature, and what they're doing. Yeah, so it's a lot. There's trying to wrap my head around the whole thing because that's what caught my attention. Caught my attention. The emphasis on the horses, the emphasis on the wacky, the air goes away multiple times in this trailer. Like just the wind and the inflatable arms are going on, and then they just fall. Like almost like a hurricane. When you're in the eye of a hurricane, everything's just sucked away and it's quiet. It reminded me
dead
of that.
air for a moment.
Right. It reminded me of that. And I was like, that's scary, because that's a sign of bad things coming. It never.
Yeah, that's normally an omen. And nothing ever is good when something stops like that.
Yeah, no current and no wind. That's bad. You don't want to be in that area if you're.
But you know what's the funny thing about it is that at the same time that they show a lot of air just stopping, then they bring up that weather events, the storms, the wind, the like hurricane storm. Did you see them sucking people out into the air? It almost feels like that movie with Tom Cruise, with the remake that Tom Cruise did. Was it Day After? No, not Day After Tomorrow.
War of the Worlds.
War of Worlds, where people just kind of get pulled and grabbed. It almost kind of gives that kind of vibe where they just kind of just whoop and just pick them up and pick them up out of it. So it's kind of like, okay, well, what are you going with that? Is it weather events? Are they using weather events to hide in plain sight? because like even if you're looking at like the trailer and if you look through the poster, this cloud that they got here, there's a scene where they showed like a storm going at it,
Mhm.
and it kind of they're in the like right below it, kind of like an eye of the storm,
Mhm.
and no rain in the storm is hitting them, but you can kind of see all around them like all this rain, this lightning,
Ah,
the wind. So
right.
I feel like, you know, obviously this is kind of portraying like this is supposed to be their spaceship, I would assume. And it
Okay.
kind of is like hidden with those kites that you see there,
Right. It's a
the flags that
camouflage
they.
kind of thing.
So they're hiding in plain sight. Who knows? I mean, because a lot of the trailer, most of the time they're like this.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, what are they looking at? It almost like,
Gotta
you
look
know,
up.
the turkey waiting to drown from the rain kind of thing. You're like, huh. So it
I
definitely.
absolutely like it.
I love it. I think I can't wait to see it. I have, like I mentioned, a couple theories. I have one main theory, and I've been thinking about it for some time since we talked that we're going to go over this. I think a theory I have of mine, is that we're gonna see. They're gonna show the alien. They look about Napoleon's height, maybe a head 2 sizes bigger than what I got, with a complexion a lot
They
lighter
come
than
in bigger
mine.
sizes?
They come in bigger sizes. um, but
Mm.
I think there's gonna be a twist that the aliens are gonna be portrayed as the bad guy or as like the good guy that's turning bad. I think it's gonna be like a plot twist to like where we're thinking that they're good. They were good at one point that went bad, and
Mm.
they're trying to like maybe take over the world, take over whatever it is that they're gonna try to portray it. I think all in all, they're going to actually twist it and they're gonna save us in this.
Hmm.
And I
From
think they're using
something.
the horse people to twist that up and maybe almost kind of like an us moment, maybe fill in the gap for the people who are just bad, and maybe they take them away, and that those
Mm.
people take over that role.
Right.
I don't
I
know. It's just my theory.
Hey, we're gonna have a lot of these conversations until this movie comes out, and even after. But we should do a review video when it comes out.
Oh, I'm down to watch that one.
We I think my theory is again, you got to pick Jordan Peele's mind, and that's very hard to do. But I think that so I saw a used car lot there in the trailer.
Okay.
There's also a lot of natural disaster, as you explained earlier. There's a lot of natural disasters going around and going on in this trailer, and the aliens could be using that to camouflage themselves in order to hide in plain sight, as you said, from their invasion or whatever their business is coming there. Um, I think that this kind of surrounds. You have this black-owned company that's kind of struggling, so they have to do all this marketing. And this event probably helps because if if they can come and shut down all the lights, all the electricity, all the everything from a household, from the city, from however it may be, they could shut down the power from enabling any of the automobiles to work too. So that
Hmm.
in turn brings business back to, ironically, in the middle of a disaster to this company. A symbol, and I could call me crazy for saying this, but it's almost, I think the symbolism to it would be society doesn't need black people until things are about to go wrong or they already have.
Yep.
And
I
don't
can see that.
comment section, hey, I don't mean anything by that. It's just a theory for the movie. It has nothing to do with society on its own. But I'm thinking in that sense because you have to. There's been many a time where people will say, as a black person, you have to strive harder. Again, I don't relate, never had to, but I have seen it and I've heard it a lot of times. You know, where you have to just be that much more, and you're the pinnacle of this business. Your family has been in this business and in the horse stable business since the dawn of cinematography, but you're still struggling. But you're struggling because of the turn of not the century, but the turn of technology in a sense. You
Yep.
know, where they, if we're thinking Scorpion King, there was CGI in there, so they may not need the horses for the CGI. They may not need it because they have CGI. They could just it's cheaper, or it costs less. You don't have to feed and take care of horses. You don't have to go to this company and have their services. You're not how do you say, they no longer have to provide their services because the
Yeah.
technology is taking over. So I'm thinking this event is the forefront, but it's also the background at the exact same time because their business is going to take a huge effect of it, you know? So I think, and you brought up that picture, and I'm thinking that yes, they're trying to get more, do more marketing and get more business to the company, but Daniel's face theoretically tells me a lot. He's fed up. Something's
Okay.
wrong with the company. She's putting on a face. She's the personality. She's selling the sizzle. So for me, he's like, why are we doing this? We're practically going out of business. There's cars all over the place. Ain't nobody need
Almost
this.
kind of like saying, like, what are we trying to? What are we saving? We're like, it's a
Right,
dead business. Sell what we got, make whatever profit we got
right.
going, just keep moving.
Why are we trying so hard? Kind of thing. So who
Which could bring
knows?
up the idea of when he mentions in the trailer, like, what do you call a bad blessing? What do you call a good blessing? That easily could be that symbolism right there is like, okay,
Right.
he's talking about, maybe the ranch is a bad blessing. Maybe the ranch
Mhm.
is just like, listen, like, this is not, it was a blessing when they did the ranch. It was a blessing back
Mhm.
then, but it's not doing it now. It's
Yeah,
just
we
at
have to do
this point in
something
time,
different.
people, yeah, like we not just get rid of, maybe stop doing what we're doing, but maybe just get rid of the business and this land altogether. It's not
Mhm.
worth it.
Maybe
And
it's
we're
shelter.
saving something that, yeah, we're saving something that doesn't need saving.
Right.
It's, I mean, again, great logic on there, great ideas. We have to wait till the movie comes out so
Oh
we
yeah,
can see
100%.
what he wants to go with on that.
Hmm.
And then our favorite question of the evening,
Oh my.
guys, we love it. Is this trailer and essentially the movie rated F?
You go first.
Oh heck yeah! I don't even have to say. I'm gonna give my best Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh hell yes! Like, this is all. I'm going all in on this one. AEW pun on that at all.
Yeah.
I'm looking at. I
Stone
am
Cold Steve
looking
Austin
for.
AEW confirmed. Oh, yes. See.
I am fully invested in this. I'm curious, man. I really want to see what they're gonna do with this movie because I think it punches a lot of key components on here. I think
Mm.
whether it's, if you're looking at are we looking at weather? Are we looking at, maybe that, the whole iceberg, melting and all that? Are we looking at aliens? Are we looking at is this a more darker side to it? Is there a lighter side to it? There's so much things that you can't fathom, and because it's Jordan Peele's brain, he was big on the comedy role, who made his name with Key and Peele, but making his directing debut and the way he's been doing it, man, I mean, come
Exploded.
on.
He's in the stratosphere right now. Me personally, it is. I'm gonna give this a special rating. It is rated Jordan Peele, which is the highest horror movie rating that you can get, other than the late great George Romero. But it is rated
Of the current era,
Jordan Peele.
you ain't lying on that though. If you're looking at movies now,
Yeah,
woo,
he's
he's
it.
setting the standard.
He could give you drama. He could give you comedy. He could give you action. He could give you horror. He could give you everything, all in one
And then
movie.
I think, yeah, I was gonna say
Suspense,
he does a great
mystery.
job of doing that. I love it. That there's you're gonna giggle on a lot of these scenes, and then you're
Yeah,
gonna go, oh shit,
it brings you
oh
right
okay.
back. Yeah, he could turn a jump scare into a comedic relief in the same scene. I've seen it happen, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what? But when he really
Remember the
dissects
Get
the
Out
movie,
challenge?
oh my god!
I
Like
mean,
it's it's a relief to have that because a lot of times, if we had this conversation before, I know you guys aren't big horror movie fans, but a lot of American directors are afraid to take a horror movie to the extent, to the extreme. Not saying blood and gore and guts and all that, spit and ass and all that, I'm talking about taking a horror movie past just jump scares. There's only so many
Mm-hmm.
jump scares to the point that you can actually see what's going on before it happens.
Yeah. It's almost like going to Halloween Horror Nights, and you can almost see the turn. It's like, okay, if I turn this corner, it's gonna be right there.
Yeah.
You know, you almost can read the scene really well. So I
Hallway's a
agree.
little too dark. Da, da, da. He, in a lot of his movies, they're not too scary. They haven't been creatures, but it's symbolism of what it begs you to ask a question of what is a creature? Is it a crazy white girlfriend? Doesn't have to be white. Is it a polar opposite of yourself? And you see yourself. Imagine if you've met your doppelganger, right in front. It would freak you out. And there's a lot of scenes there where he forces you to watch what you don't want to see. And another director that does that, that's in another genre of horror movies, is James Wan. He doesn't do jump
Mm,
scares. Very rarely does he do jump scares, but he forces you to see what you don't want to look at. You
yeah.
got Why did you come to the movies if you're not going to watch it? And you're not going to see it for
Yeah.
just a split second. Yeah. So I
And
love
I
it.
think you hit something right in the head when you say something about horror movies. The one thing I've complained about a lot of horror movies that I have seen in the more recent era,
Mm.
aside from it, which if you guys have not seen us review it, that's from season one.
Very
Check it
much a
out.
fan. Very
Big
much a
fan of
fan.
them.
The original
Um,
and the remakes 1 and 2. Big fan.
yep, love them all. But aside of that movie, look at all the horror movies. Everything they figured, oh, the gorier, the scarier. No, no.
No.
Sometimes it's the less gory that sometimes be like, ooh, because
Hmm.
it's that thought, that implementation. Like, okay, this could really happen. This may actually be out there.
Hmm.
You know, I actually had to think about like, is there like an alternate world where like you maybe a doppelganger of me, or no, what if I went to and dated a Dominican woman and she just tried to kill me because I was Puerto Rican? Like, like you don't know. Like you just it makes you think. It
Oh
doesn't.
my god.
We don't have to just keep it in black and white. We can go all over the place with it. The
Yeah, we rated
symbolism
that for a reason.
is.
We say what you don't want to say.
But honestly speaking,
Tangents.
like if you're looking at it, you really gotta think about it. And I think he does a great job. I hate to see those simple jump scares. It's like I need more. If I'm gonna see a scary movie, I want it to really like I want to not be able to sleep at night for a minute. I
Hmm.
want me to look in the middle of the night, look at the dark, and go, that looked like it moved.
I know my wife and I, we were watching, I mean, we're rambling now, but it's our channel, so whatever. So my wife and I were watching a movie the other day. It was Annabelle Creation.
Okay, I haven't seen it
And
yet, but
she was so scared, and I fell asleep on the couch. I was like some horror movies are lullabies to me. But if you could make me second guess not leaving the light on, you did a good job.
yeah.
You did a good job. I've been watching. I was actually telling a coworker of mine just the other day, just side story. But we were talking about horror movies and cinematography and this and the other. He's a big movie buff as well, and he likes like war movies, like Tears of the Sun and Black Hawk Down and
Oh,
all that.
okay.
But we were talking about it, and I was like, "Yeah, I've been watching more horror movies since I was 4 years old." He was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, my dad sat me down, and we were right there in the living room. We were living in Brooklyn, New York, and we sat down. We watched the first Leprechaun,
Oh
and it
yeah, that was like thing. I think
scared.
that was my very first one too.
Really?
Yeah, it scared the piss out of me.
Scared the pants off of me, man. And I was like, oh my god! But I never turned back. Only thing that can get me going is a good horror movie. Love it, absolutely
I
love
mean, shoot, that's a good way to start life with that.
it.
welcome to adulthood, kid. At 4 years old.
Yeah. Welcome to the real world, boy.
All right, guys.
Anyway, yeah.
So we would love to get more comments, more ideas. If you guys are open, go into our Twitter feed, go into our Instagram.
Uh-huh.
Shoot a message to us, guys. Comment on here. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about. We love to get a lot more feedback, so we can talk about it, guys. We definitely are feeding. We want to find that topic that you guys really like, and if you guys want to, go ahead and hit that bell at the top. Go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Drop some more comments. Let us know what you guys are looking for, are interested in, and we'll try to do our best to get it out to you guys. We are announcing that we are doing this show with JPW. It is
Yes.
coming up in a couple weeks, so please check in and tune in for more information on that.
Very
As of
excited for
right,
this collaboration.
I am excited. If you guys have not
Yes.
seen their show, they are really good, up and coming, and they've done some really great work so far. The doors are open. They are letting people in to see it live. If you guys want to see it live, again, keep up to date with us. We'll try to put you on as much information. The bell time, which is pretty much start time, is at 1:45. So join on, guys. We definitely want to let you guys be there. We'll be there. If you guys want to do any type of meet and greets, whatever, we'll do our best to be there for you guys. We are also going to be doing a joint podcast with another podcast crew. It's actually there. We're listed here. It's Arc Radio. So if you guys want to hear out them, they also have some great content as well. Just, let us know, guys. Shoot us the comments. We definitely want you here. We'd love to see more of you guys and more interaction with you guys.
Yeah, we're trying to reach out. We took a bit of hiatus there. We brainstormed together and said, hey, look, back to basics. We're spending too much time in setup. We're spending too much time in this. We literally logged on maybe 5 minutes before we started streaming.
It got us going.
And the content, and for some of you guys that know us, it's pretty much just one person watching right now. But for some of you guys that know us, we've known each other damn near almost 20 years. There's four of us, and we're the best of friends. We run into double digits of years when it comes to our friendship with the brotherhood. And we don't mind having conversations like this that run 51 minutes and anything. It doesn't even feel like it. We're just talking, and we would like for you guys to, pick our brains. Or, hey, talk about this, talk about that. And so we could, theorize and have our opinions put together and stuff like that. We love it. We love it. Absolutely.
We love it, guys. And
do this for you guys.
And we'll do it as much as we can, and as much topics. And if we don't know the topic, we'll try our best. I ain't gonna lie, we'll give it a shot. Get a good old college try for you guys. But just let us know,
for
guys,
about 25 minutes.
But as always, guys, you should always like, subscribe, and comment on our channel, guys. And once again, I'm Felix.
I'm Robbie.
And can't wait for the next time, guys.
Take care. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good night.
Wow, this is the thrill. Welcome to the thrill. Giving you something that's real. Tell me how you really feel. Now that you're hearing the thrill. I was all on my own. Now we're looking at it home.